Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's a special New Year's Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Zach Wilson and the New York Jets.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at Lumen Field in downtown Seattle. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Taken in at the 3. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Leading them out is the fourth-year quarterback out of Missouri. Second-rounder in 2019, Drew Lock.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Lock. Rolling to his left. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Lock. Again, it's Carson with another catch. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. On play action, Lock. They'll roll him out right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
Lock. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they'll be led out by the second overall pick from BYU, now in his second season, Zach Wilson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. But taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago, 19 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're...
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Now Myers for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. The CD, I know. It's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
It'll go as a loss on the play, not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal. They look to throw. It's Locke. Buying time to his left. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his second extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback. Berrios. Offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Wilson. On the move to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And a round is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. The Jets ready to get going again here on offense. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster. An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Wilson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he is going to have a Jets first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Hall again on 2nd down. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson from 8 yards out. And the Jets get a bit closer. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass. I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Locke's throw into the hands of Lockett.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 33 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. To throw in his Lock. And he's got it. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal.
That's tough to play zone defense where they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown.
A great effort there with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the route is on here in this first half. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Room here to run. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
Singing in the shower postgame. The extra point now coming from Myers. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And some room to work. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down.
This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. From just shy of midfield, Wilson.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Wilson to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And all the way in, touchdown, New York.
Garrett Wilson
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Jets get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They fake the handoff, now Locke.
Returning right back to Lockett.
And a nice spin into some open field. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Locke. Steps away to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that felt.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
A great play there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point up and through by Myers. And a rout is on here in this first half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome into our EA Sports Halftime Report. It's a busy Week 17 of the regular season, so let's get right to it. We start with what used to be the Battle of the Bay. No more. It's San Francisco heading south to take on Las Vegas. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. Josh Jacobs, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. From there, we'll take the trip east to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who have the lead in that one at halftime. Kirk Cousins has fired 3 touchdown passes. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
They'll go again with Carter.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
Now it's Lockett. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
There's Tyler Lockett and the rest of his Seattle teammates coming out for the next possession.
A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers, though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
He hits his target, Lockett. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from going up by 40.
Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they've built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
On third down, Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Second and 10 now, Wilson.
A quick throw there going to be batted away at incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Wilson. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Locke back near his goal line. Dancing to his left. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Rolling to his right.
Pass is caught. It's Metcalf going across the field here. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. That's caught at the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain of 39 that time.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
as they come to the line. They will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. D. Eskridge, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him at the 23. It's 2nd and 12. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Here's Locke to throw. And that's incomplete.
It's been a fun game for him so far, but I think he tried to do just a little too much that time. Give the defense a rare win on that snap.
They'll go for it. It's Locke, escaping the pressure right. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Now Locke.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history there was a...
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown.
8 yards on the touchdown pass.
And the Seahawks add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
Myers connects on the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson.
That pass complete to Moore.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. This offense so far on third down, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now Myers for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete. 4 yards the pickup, first down. To throw is Wilson.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Now, my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days. This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Seahawks,
they're a win away now from running the table here in the regular season. They moved to 16-0 on the year.
and for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.